So we are gonna go live. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I'm one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And we have a very funny special guest today. He is a story pirate extraordinaire. Please welcome Eric Austin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
Thank you for doing the show. Eric is like the face of Story Pirates. If you don't know what Story Pirates is, that's how Eric and I know each other. It is a children's arts education organization, is how it started, where we would turn stories written by kids into like big sketch comedy musical shows and perform them at their schools. We still do that, but now it has blown up into this gigantic thing. They have one of the most popular children's podcasts that has ever existed. Eric is a regular on the podcast. He tours with Story Pirates. And he also like does a ton of improv in New York. So if you are in New York, go see Eric do improv. We'll hook you up with his socials at the end so you can keep up with that. And also, like, if you have kids, you should be listening to the Story Pirates podcast. You should try to catch them on tour. Yeah, that's my spiel. Those are my thoughts.
Great. I mean, we're a fun time all around, so
Absolutely.
You can't go wrong.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
too. I have seen Story Pirate shows, and it's good.
Mhm.
It's good for everybody. Is the thing.
They're fun. They're wacky. Also, Eric, we also have some comments rolling in that people are loving your shirt. People are thrilled that you have a Batman
Thank
shirt
you.
on. I know
Yeah.
you're a huge comic book fan.
Is Batman
Yeah, as you can
your favorite?
see,
Okay. I like that. Who's your least favorite? I don't want to get shitty immediately, but who's your least favorite?
least favorite like comic book character.
Yeah.
I don't. Geez, you gotta give me a second.
Yeah. You know what? We'll let you ruminate on that because we do have a couple orders of business, and then I will come back at you about it.
You gotta get the business.
And I'll just yell out. I'll
Yeah,
yell out
whatever you
random
think,
characters.
interrupt me.
Yes, please. Yeah, yell at Reka.
Yell at me, please. So a couple orders of business. You guys know for Talk Shop, we are a food charity-based live stream. So every season we raise money for a different food-based charity, and this season is no different. So at the end of this season, we'll be doing a big fundraising, fun little event. And just so that you guys know, we finally tallied up, and we'll be posting this graphic very soon, what we made in the last fundraiser. And I have it right here, and you won't be able to see it because you can't see anything on my phone. But this is a graphic, and the number on there is $3,483.66 for farm worker justice. Holy shit. In one night, you guys raised that. So thank you so much. $3,400, almost $3,500. So
yes.
Thank you to everyone for that incredible support. That is
unbelievable. We even had someone from Farm Worker Justice reach out to us on Twitter and thank us for it. They're like very excited. So yeah, thank you so much.
Truly makes me sick how much I want to thank you. It would make you sick too. So
yeah, Reka's gonna throw up during the stream.
I will throw up. So that's our first order of business. Second order of business is something we didn't tell you, Eric, which is just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire. So does every episode of Talk Shop, and it is not cooking related. It is just Eric preference related. So it will be 10 questions just about your food thoughts and preferences, but you only have 45 seconds to answer them. It's the quickest quick fire in all of Top Chef history. And
okay, wow.
I can tell that this is kind of alarming, scary, terrifying to you.
You're freaking out. We can see that you're absolutely freaking out.
Absolutely sweating.
I'm processing it all. Yeah, very calm.
This is a lot. I know this is a lot. And just in case you need incentive, I mean, I know we just met, but maybe you're kind of like, fuck you, Reka, fuck you, Jordan. I don't want to do this. This sounds stupid. Hear me out. There's some prizes at stake here. So, yeah, exactly. So
that changes everything.
Okay,
exactly.
So now you went from pretty upset and terrified to like gleeful, joyful, dancing around the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I move really fast.
Yeah.
One of the prizes you could win is a deed to the Terlato wine vineyard.
Ever heard of it?
Wait, no, sorry.
Exactly.
Good.
So the Terlato wine vineyard sponsored seasons like, I don't know, 7 through 10 of Top Chef. They're kind of a semi-made up wine brand. I mean, I guess there's a real vineyard and a real owner whose name I have already forgotten. It was revealed last week by Charles what this person's real name was.
Yes.
We'll default again to saying His name is Danny Tortellini. He
Yeah.
owns Gelato Wine Vineyards, a wine that you can't buy in stores. You can barely buy online. I don't really know.
Yeah, Reka and I have tried to purchase this wine that sponsored Top Chef. We have like called places that say on their website that they sell it. And then when we call, they're like, what are you talking about?
What
And
are you? Who is that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you'll want a deed to that vineyard, which is located in, I don't know, the Bermuda Triangle. We don't know where this is, where they're manufacturing their little grape sauce or whatever it is.
But you get the deed to that whole vineyard.
I mean, so when we do find out, it's gonna be all good.
Exactly.
When we do find out, it's gonna be so awesome for you.
Yeah, and y'all can visit anytime.
Exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
The next prize you could win is your own personal suite of broken GE appliances, just like you see on the show Top Chef. So we're talking an oven that doesn't get up to temperature, a fryer that doesn't get up to temperature, a refrigerator door that doesn't close, maybe a pressure cooker that doesn't open. All of that could be yours, Eric, if you complete this quick fire in 10 seconds, in 45
in 10 minutes.
In 5 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one refrigerator that doesn't close, but you can always do it. You can always do it too.
You could always and maybe together make a help each other. Like, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. We'll close together.
Push them up against the wall, facing each other.
Yeah.
I can't use it, but at least they're closed.
At least
you have them. Yeah, it's a real power move to have 2 broken refrigerators.
Yeah, I think that says something about someone.
Yeah.
So Eric, if you're ready, I will start this timer for 45 seconds after Jordan finishes asking question 1. Are you ready?
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Question number 1. What texture should a biscuit be?
So crunchy. I don't know.
What is your go-to meal on tour?
Tacos.
Working as a team or working solo?
Solo.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Breakfast or dinner?
Ooh, breakfast.
How far would you make it on Top Chef?
First round.
What superhero would be the best chef?
Flash, because he's fast.
What is your favorite food?
Tacos.
What is something you would never eat?
Celery.
How great are Jordan and Reka?
Amazing.
You did it!
You did it, Eric! A bunch of garbage is coming to your house!
I'm ready.
Incredible. Wow. And with such ease, such poise, such grace.
Grace. Such calm. I loved that. And I think Flash is a great answer.
I agree.
And can I ask, what kind of tacos do you like?
A good question.
I'm all about al pastor tacos, but good shrimp tacos also go a long way, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I love that.
I was actually just in LA for a tour, and I met up with Ted and Nadia, and we went to this is somebody we know from Story Pirates.
Oh, I know them.
Oh yeah.
Oh great. Yeah. So we went to this truck, I think El Flamin' Taco.
Oh my God.
So, and they had like the al pastor on the rotisserie thing, and they shave it off.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And it was like they had buckets of like your own, different salsa, pickled onions, onions, cilantro. And I like took a picture and sent it to my girlfriend who was going to LA when I came back, and I was like, you have to try this place. Yeah. So hopefully she did. She's watching. I hope she did.
Okay, drop in the chat if you did.
Yeah.
And another follow-up, Eric, because you said 2 things that really spoke to me personally, that you like sweet and you like breakfast, and that is sort of my personality. Do you have a favorite dessert, first of all?
I guess, my family is like from the South, so like growing up, peach cobbler was always like, it was like, it's what you live for, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta go with that one.
Is your girlfriend's username Shania? Okay.
Shania, yeah.
Okay, Shania, sorry. They say, I still haven't been, but I just ate a burrito.
Okay.
I mean, okay, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay, strife. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, girlfriends are designed to not listen to you. I'll say it.
Oh, okay, wow.
I'm sure my girlfriend's doing something right now, explicitly not listening to me.
Going out there and dumping all your mayo down the sink.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Well, let's dive into this episode. And Christine, thank you. You're speaking to my heart. Christine is doing the due diligence of asking the chat what their favorite dessert is. I think this is important work. So Christine, go for it. Okay. So our quick fire here is actually a quick fire we've seen before on this show in season 14, South Carolina, to make a biscuit from scratch. And this time it has to be like a kind of a full dish. So, you know, we get into the common discussion of drop biscuit versus flaky biscuit, fried biscuit versus burnt biscuit. Which would you rather?
Yeah. I think one of the most bizarre things, and Eric, you can tell me if you agree with this or not. I'm also from the South, but I found in New York, you could find almost any food from anywhere in the world. You could also find good Southern food, but it was very hard in New York to find a good biscuit. Almost every biscuit I had tasted more like a scone than a biscuit. And I didn't know what it was.
I shouldn't interject into this, but I agree.
Reika, you love biscuits and you love baking, so please, I want to know what both you and Eric think.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't say I've had a lot of biscuits in places, especially if it comes to like soul food. This is weird, but I'm like less likely to go to like a soul food restaurant. I rather just like go home and like eat it on the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Not the same. I remember like even like when I used to go to church and I was like people would cook food and bring it together. I would only make things like my mother or like my aunt or my grandmother made. Like it's like a weird thing trying other people's food, you know.
Okay,
I don't know.
very loyal, it sounds like. Very loyal.
I like that.
I like that. I do get it though, because a lot of times people will be like, where's the best gumbo in New Orleans? And I'm like, my aunt's house? I don't know. I don't go out and eat gumbo. What, you think people in New Orleans just eat gumbo all the time? And we do, but it is very like, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, my dad makes gumbo. When I go out, I'm getting like Vietnamese food or whatever.
Right. I've never had better collard greens than the ones like my mother and my grandmother. Yeah. Like, you know it.
Of course. That makes sense to me. So I get that.
What was I going to ask? Oh, do we have a preference in this group and in the chat on flaky versus drop?
You know, that's the word I was looking for, but I said crunchy because I was just kind of like
you were freaking out. I saw it.
Yeah. But I gotta have flaky.
Me too.
The layers one.
Yeah. I honestly like. I think a drop biscuit can be good in like a dessert, like if you're doing like fruit and cream and a drop biscuit. But if you also said you could also have a flaky biscuit there, I'd be like, oh, do that.
Yeah, I think a flaky biscuit is the real biscuit. The only drop biscuit I personally recognize is a Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit, which I do think is a different. I'm like, that's not even a biscuit. Like if you're like, what's your favorite biscuit? I wouldn't name that because that's its own thing.
It is almost like a scone. Yeah, I don't know. Drop it in the chat, guys. What you think?
Yeah.
Because it seemed like we got now, and who knows if this is based on preference or based on not wanting to laminate and make flaky dough. We had a lot of drop biscuits today. So I thought it was very funny when Luke, our big Noma guy, was like, yeah, just, you know, they don't really have a lot of biscuits in Europe, so baking a biscuit isn't my thing. I'm like, hey, Luke, what is your thing? For backstory, Eric, Luke is like worked at one of the most famous restaurants in the world.
I mean, it literally has been rated the #1 restaurant in the world, like many, many times. It's in Denmark. Where is it? In Denmark, somewhere like that. Somewhere that I honestly refuse to believe has good food. Sorry, I'll say it.
It's in one of the places where you eat like all white food.
Yes, absolutely. But so he's on this show, and like every single challenge we've had, like last week they had to do like Indian food, and he was like, "I've never eaten Indian." I'm like, "What have you eaten before?"
Please tell me what your thing is, because everything seems to not be your thing because you worked in Europe. Noma in Copenhagen. Thank you so much.
Copenhagen, yes.
Okay, beautiful. So that was just simply something interesting, and then we get this absolutely terrifying fried biscuit moment with Ashley. This is the second week in a row where someone kind of accidentally fries like pastry because they couldn't cook it in time, which sucks. So let's run through these dishes. Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
and Eric, we kind of just go off these and just talk about, give them a thumbs up, thumbs down, whether or not we'd want to eat them. And you can base this on whatever you feel like, whether you personally think it would taste good, whether you think it's a Top Chef worthy dish, whatever your, what word am I looking for, Rika? Whatever your,
yeah, like whatever your gut feeling is. Like, would you eat it? Is it a Top Chef dish? Whatever you want. It's so loose, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
I mentioned before I wasn't like multitasking while I was watching it, so I'm gonna try to like.
You're absolutely so fine. I'm gonna run through all of the dishes and like describe all of them and who made them. You don't gotta worry. Jackson, who is for the third or fourth time, has asserted that he had COVID and lost his sense of smell, and is still cooking on this show. Jackson made a scallion biscuit glazed in hot maple with ostrich sausage, crispy cheddar, and a fried egg. Yeah, I'm gonna eat that. I mean, I never like the description of a meal being made just because it seems cool to use ostrich, but it seems like he did a good job.
Yeah, there was a moment where actually my girlfriend and I went to a burger place that has all these different kinds of meat.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get an ostrich burger, but they sold out, and I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to try that.
Oh, okay. Drop it in the chat if you've had ostrich meat and what it tastes like, because I'm curious. I've never had it. I will just interject that I absolutely hate Jackson for no reason whatsoever. There's nothing behind it. He's done nothing wrong. I think he just has kind of like a smarmy smile. And so every time he smiles, I'm like, what is this bitch gonna say?
Smarmy. I thought you said farmy.
Farmy. He looks like a farmer. No, he just has this like smirk that doesn't sit well with me, but he's done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I owe him an apology.
Yeah, get your notes up out. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah made a biscuit with mushroom maple gravy and a poached egg. Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah, Eric, talk.
I do think everything she makes is quite boring, but yeah, Eric, go ahead.
Two things I'm not a fan of: mushrooms and like poached eggs. That's when you like break it and then the yolk runs out.
Yeah. I have to really go to bat for my girl poached eggs. That is my favorite preparation of egg.
Yeah.
Love her.
How do you like your eggs, Eric? Scrambled?
Yes, scrambled. Okay. Well, not like burnt and dry, but like.
Oh, we're a burnt egg family over here. We love a burnt egg.
Yeah. I can't do runny eggs. It's not the same.
Okay.
Yes, I get that. That's how my girlfriend is. You're either a poached runny or a scrambled person. And I find that like normally you're one or the other.
You can't cross the aisle in that way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try anything. But if I'm cooking something, then yeah, I've tried it before. When it comes to mushrooms though, no thank you.
Okay.
Controversial. I got it. Okay. Robert made a sweet corn biscuit with Japanese brown sugar, strawberries, and whipped cream.
Did you say Japanese brown sugar?
That's what it says.
Wow, that sounds great. And I would love to know more about that.
I remember hearing that, and I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
I wonder if it is at all similar to Indian brown sugar, which kind of comes as a giant block. Let me see.
Oh, okay. No, I think I'm thinking of a different thing though. I'm thinking of I believe a Mexican sugar that comes in a literal block as well.
Yes.
Or a cone. Sometimes it comes in a cone too.
Yeah, same. Indian sugar jaggery comes like that too. I think it's all part of the same vibe, but I'm looking at the Japanese brown sugar on Google.com. Comes in like, more harder chunks and if anyone has any more information than what I just got from Google.com, please drop it in the chat and save me. Okay. Ashley, God bless her. I love Ashley. I want to see what Appalachian food is, but Ashley made a fried black pepper biscuit by accident with apple molasses, country ham, chow chow with moonshine vinegar.
It
Now,
sounds delicious.
I'm so fucking gonna eat this. I love chow chow. I like the idea of an apple molasses. I'm gonna
Yeah, when you said apple molasses, my ears like perked up a little bit. Here's my question though. I saw a lot of people made like jams and shit like that. Do they have the time to like make jams and make their own hot honey?
Yeah.
I would say it's a quick preparation of all those things because I don't think that they really have time to make a true jam, but I think they're able to cook something down enough that it has somewhat of a jammy consistency, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they did have I don't remember, did we have a time limit on this one, Rika, that was mentioned? I don't remember. 45. Yeah. So I mean, like, so you could, but I don't think it's gonna be the best jam in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad for her. This is a trend on this season that I'm seeing coming up of people, something happens, so they have to pivot and make a necessary change, which is like so normal in all aspects of life and all jobs. But instead they keep selling it as, oh, I wanted to do this to do something different or blah, blah. She did that with her biscuit. She was like, I wanted to do something different. Sam did that with his sweet potatoes a couple episodes ago, or his regular potatoes. I'm like, you can say you made a mistake and had to pivot. I think you'll get more credit for that rather than just like having a bad idea.
This is the eternal struggle in this show where when Eric, if you haven't seen other episodes, a common quandary on the show is like you go to judges table, the judges go, why did you do that? This tasted bad. If you say, well, I made a mistake, they'll go, why did you put it on the plate?
Yeah.
And if you should stand behind your dish. You don't even believe in the dish. You're saying you made a mistake. And then if you go, yeah, I meant to do that. They go, you meant to do that. Well, it was bad. Well, why'd you do that?
I get it though. I get that it can be hard to like admit that. Like there was a time a while ago, I was making an omelet. I love me an omelet. I go to flip it and it broke. So I'm like, damn, I guess I'm making scrambled eggs. And for the rest of that day, I just had scrambled eggs for breakfast. Yeah. I didn't have an omelet that I ruined. No, I had scrambled eggs and I added some other shit to it. There you go.
The trick on this show, not in quick fires, but in general, you do have to like announce what you're making beforehand. And so if you tell them what you're making and then that doesn't come to fruition, like a few episodes ago, someone had like such and such sweet potato with bok choy. The bok choy didn't make it to the plate. So the judges all go, wasn't there supposed to be bok choy? And then you have to answer for yourself.
I think that is stupid. And I think they should change that rule.
I think it is stupid.
Unless it's a challenge where it's like, you're doing a pop-up restaurant and you have to show us our menu. Yeah. Then I'm like, oh, that's different because if you promise something on a menu and then it's not there. But just in general, I'm like, I agree with Eric. Why think that you did something wrong when you could just pivot and make what you did right? I think that's like a very, sorry to be like this, but I think that's a great rule of improv. I think it's very helpful, not to be a huge bitch, but I do think it's good. I think that's a good skill to have. And I think they should be allowed to thrive in that skill instead of being harmed by it, which I feel like they are now with that rule.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, Joe made a biscuit with chorizo, vegetable hash, and spiced butter. That sounds good to me.
That sounds delicious. There hasn't been a segment about the fact that Joe, I think, is gay yet, and I need to know. So that's just the thing.
Yeah, she said she has a wife.
But why hasn't there been a segment about it? Do you know what I mean?
Like maybe half an episode dedicated to that.
Well, normally when someone's gay on the show or someone like overcame cancer or whatever, they're kind of the same. The show treats them the same.
Similar.
The show treats them exactly the same. If someone had growing up, whatever it is, they'll give it like a little segment, and I'm waiting for Joe's gay segment.
Well, I guess we gotta wait for her to win a big challenge or lose a big one.
There we go, and then we'll get the segment. Everyone just keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out for that. Okay.
I love that they all have the same kind of tropes. Like I know, never watched the show really, but I know exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when we saw Monique talking to her family in the beginning, Luke, my roommate, and I both went, uh-oh. Because we're like, I hope Monique doesn't go home. She's talking to her family. And they don't show you someone has a family unless they're about to kill them.
Yes.
To show you who would miss them.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick made a Mississippi buttermilk biscuit with crispy pork belly and frog jelly, which stood for fig. Fuck, what was the R? Raisins? Is that crazy? It probably is.
I don't know. All I'll say is I would eat this. I love Nick. I think he's going to win the whole season.
Pooped this out, I would eat it. It looks so good.
I think he's incredible. I think a lot of my family's from Mississippi and from Jackson, Mississippi, which is where he is from. And I think there's like an incredible food scene there that no one's highlighting. So I think Nick is doing something really different and being really like loud and proud about it. And I think it's awesome. And I'm calling it right now. I think he's going to win. Eric, tell me.
I'm sorry, did you say frog jelly?
Yes, and it's not because it's made of frogs. It's an acronym for 4 different fruits that I was like, Reka, you'll remember them. You don't need to write it down.
It's
and
like fig, raisin, orange, grape or something. I don't know. He does this too, like in the last one challenge. He like made like seasoning blend. Yeah, he's like, it's my 27 seasoning blend, and they were like, what? And then they ate it, and they were like, wait, actually, we would buy this if you liked it. And I think he's gonna take the whole show. I love him, and I would watch more of him, which I think says good things about him being.
I would buy products. It's kind of cool. Yes. This is the first in so few episodes. He's almost like accidentally / intentionally marketed a couple of products.
Yes. I'm like, he knows how to play the game. Like he is playing the game while also being genuine and like enjoyable to watch. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen someone strike that balance so well on Talk Show. What's the show called?
Talk Show.
Talk Chef.
The show is called Top Chef, and we're Talk Chef. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Breaking news. Frog jelly is fig, raspberry, oranges, and ginger. Thank you, as always. Okay.
Delicious. We love them.
Guess what? Honestly, any permutations of an FROG fruit jelly, I'm gonna eat.
We're here for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds better than what I imagined, which is just like ground up frog.
And I put my special frog jelly where I killed a frog outside and squirted him into a jelly.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, people eat weird things, you know. I was going along with it.
Damar made a drop biscuit with a sheared egg, smoked bacon, and hot honey.
I've never understood. This sounds great. I've never understood what a sheared egg is, to be honest with you. It's cooked in cream or something. What is it?
Let's look it up. Sheared egg. Okay. Sheared eggs, also known as baked eggs. Okay, once I had really bad baked eggs and it really, really put a stink in my mouth for them.
Where?
My friend made it.
It was okay. I was like, wait, was it me? It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
I've never cooked anything bad, so it wasn't me, actually, I realized.
Okay. The eggs that have been baked in a flat bottom dish. They're considered a simple well, okay, whatever. Cool. So they're just baked eggs. This looks good as hell. I think Damar's awesome. Damar and Nick are my 2 faves at the moment.
I like Damar too.
Okay. Monique made a biscuit with lardo and onion jam. I mean, I'm here for onion jam.
This looked like a prosciutto biscuit sandwich.
Oh, Eric, tell
us.
I don't know. It's probably good, but just hearing the word lardo, onion jam, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's probably good, but it doesn't sound.
Does it help if I tell you lardo is like fat back? Does that help or hurt?
I mean, it's what I thought it was. It just doesn't sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good.
I do have to agree with Eric. Even when I saw, like, I'm sure eating this would taste delicious. I would never order this. It seems like an Italian, like a Scott Conan type, like Italian-American, like fancy chef decided that he wanted to open like a Southern style restaurant. And he's like, I do lardo on a biscuit. And I'd be like, bitch, shut up. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I would never order it. But I'm sure like if I ate it, I'd be like, yum, yum.
Right. All right. If I was out with somebody and they had it, let me get a bite.
You're gonna take a little bite.
Yeah. But is it the best? And this is not what a quick fire is for, so I'm not faulting her on this at all. But I am just like, I don't think it's the best use of a biscuit.
Agreed. I agree. I agree with that. Okay. Jay, who openly was like, I don't want to do this challenge. Was like, I'm just gonna make chicken and fuck my biscuit, basically. Jay made a buttermilk biscuit with buttermilk fried chicken and gochujang hot honey sauce. Now, if I see this on a menu, I go, that sounds tasty.
I would order this.
I do know that she was like, "Meh, my biscuit, who cares?"
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't bad.
I remember that looking really good. It
Yeah.
was like open, right? And it had a little thing to it. I was like, yeah, I would eat that.
Yeah.
It looked delicious. They were like, there's too much chicken. I was like, how dare you even say that? Like, what are you talking about?
It's so funny when people fault a sandwich, like there's too much filling or there's too much bread. I guess I just really like both of those things and have never had, unless there is not enough filling and there's a lot of bread. It's never that there's too much bread, it's just that there's not enough filling.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Okay.
I get that. But also, I refuse to believe her biscuit was that bad. She's from New Orleans, so I know she eats biscuits more regularly than some of the other competitors. So I think she wasn't giving herself enough credit. That's what I'll say. It looks like a good biscuit.
Okay. Luke made a buttermilk biscuit with sweet corn and candied kumquat chili jam. I mean, you know, I'm gonna eat the shit out of it. It's covered with corn. It's covered with corn. I'm gonna eat it.
It's like the opposite of the lardo thing. You hear those words and it's like, oh shit, I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Now. But, and you know what I'll say? I would not be surprised, especially based on the dude who made this, if I read that, I said, yum, that sounds good. And then I got it and it was like not that flavorful. And
it tasted like shit. And, and it tasted like microwave corn with no spice or no salt.
Yes.
Okay, Evelyn made a biscuit with poached eggs. So sorry, Eric. Chorizo country gravy and marinated tomatoes.
This sounded great. I love a marinated tomato salad.
I think this is a little boring to me. I think it sounds good, but it's a little boring.
This sounds like something I wouldn't order, but I would be like, hey, let me try it.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but then made a buttermilk biscuit with fried chicken, hot honey, and cheddar. This sounds pretty standard.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down because I'm sure I would absolutely slurp that thing down in one sip, but boring.
Really boring. Really,
yeah.
And he's got so much creative energy. I just think he's not channeling it very well a lot of the time. I don't know.
This was like maybe the only moment I've ever like watched a cooking show where I was like, I could make that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really don't think about that with like any of these shows. I used to watch a lot of Chopped. I was always just kind of like, this all is great. I could make that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, Reka, show the picture of Sassy again.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, because I take pictures of all the dishes. Sometimes there's like something in between the pictures, and this is what we do. This is my roommate's dog. She kind of looks like she's trying to kill me in this picture, but she actually kind of likes me. So, okay,
that's good.
So, we hop to our elimination challenge. Sean, take that back. You can't forget about Sassy. Okay, so sorry, not to elimination challenge. We got to talk about the results. On the bottom were Buddha, Joe, Jay, and Ashley. On the top were Damar, Evelyn, and Jackson, and the winner was Jackson. So Jackson gets to pick his teammate in the elimination challenge. In this elimination challenge, we get Wiley Big Egg Dufresne.
He cut his hair. I think it looks so much better. Something to know, Eric, about Wiley Dufresne, if you don't know anything about this man. He's a famous chef who used to own a restaurant in New York called WD50. And their whole thing was they did molecular gastronomy. So you'd be like, oh, this looks like a sandwich, and then you'd cut into it and you'd be like, oh, it's not a sandwich, it's soup somehow. Like, you know what I mean? They did all kinds of like crazy stuff. And he always had iconically a very long and
I'll say it. Perverted haircut.
Absolutely. He's like you saw him, he's kind of like a nerdy looking white guy who's always had a very iconically long kind of pervy looking ponytail. No offense, Mr. Dufresne, but I think we all know that that's kind of the look. And he cut it off, and now and he's had that for a million years, and now he cut it off, and I think he looks a lot better, and he seems happier.
Yes, he's a bit of like, he's just like a sort of a strange scientist man, and like he's known for what Jordan said, like making things that like look like a thing. So like I wasn't entirely excited for a looks-based challenge. Jordan and I tend to bristle at challenges like that. that are not based on just like make a dish you think would taste good, but now it has to look like something that maybe will make it taste less good. But I thought the chefs did a pretty good job. So to outline the exact challenge, it's basically to make homophone dishes, like dishes that look exactly the same. Homophone would be sound, but taste totally different. Most of the chefs went in a sweet and savory way, which I'm surprised about. I'm surprised they just didn't do two totally different savories. Because as backstory, Eric, people on this show, telling them they have to make a dessert is like telling them they have to run to the moon in an hour. So it's like gentle impossible on top of each other. They truly shit an entire brick when they have to make a dessert. So I'm like, why are you choosing to make a dessert? You could just make two different savory things. But,
I heard a couple like I don't bake, I don't know how to bake when they were like discussing it.
When they get asked to bake, it is literally like they're being truly like asked to jump into the ocean or something.
Yeah, I just assumed if you're on that show, you know how to do it all. But
and that's how it should be. I'll say it. Rake and I are big believers, and sometimes like you'll have someone come on and they'll be like, I've never used a wok before. And we're like, you are on a famous cooking show and you don't know how to use one of the most internationally common cooking vessels. Wrong.
Same with like, oh, I've never eaten West African food. I've never eaten freaking, I don't know, Guatemalan food. Like, hey, I get it. We can't eat every single type of cuisine, but you gotta try.
Yeah, you're like about to be a famous chef. You knew you were coming on a cooking show. Even if you live somewhere where you can't necessarily get your hands on like Filipino food, maybe I'm like, Google. Yeah.
Some other spices of each like region. Don't just like, it's so, we talked about this like the last like 4,000 years. We're just like, the like confident ignorance of like being like, well, I've never had Indian food or I've never cooked Indian food. It's like, you would never say that about fucking French food. You'd never be okay with saying that because you're not embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. You're chef. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, Eric. Sorry, we're not trying to get
attack.
We're not trying to get mad at you.
I'm not trying to get mad at you, Eric. In fact, you're the only thing keeping me sane right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this elimination challenge, Jackson and Buddha were paired together. I thought that was an interesting pick. Jackson, this is why I could test Jordan's theory that Jackson sucks. Because I think he's nice, but maybe has a strange smile. He picked Buddha, and normally the move is not to pick someone that was just on the bottom necessarily. Because if they go down, you're going down too in this kind of challenge. But he was just like, yeah, he seems good, and I kind of just like him. Like, great, good for you. So Jackson makes an absolutely gorgeous everything but the bagel dish. I think these two dishes for me go down in like most memorable looking Top Chef dish history. They made salmon tartare, capers, shallots, cream cheese bavois, marinated tomato, and buttermilk scallion dressing with this gorgeous like everything bagel tuile on top that was shaped like a flower. I'm a big thumbs up for this. I would see this in a restaurant and go, wait, I should try.
I had such a visceral response to this. I wanted to take both dishes and shove my boobs in them. I don't even know. I just was like, I need these dishes close to my body. They look so incredible. They look so unbelievable. I wanted to eat them both at the same time, which like doesn't even make sense. I was shocked by how impressed I was by these two dishes.
That was the one with the little like flowery thing on top of it or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. We have a breaking news alert, Eric. I'm literally so sorry, but your girlfriend has outed you in the chat that you've never had Indian food.
I think
I didn't
Eric,
try to come for me on this stream.
Eric, you know that Reka's Indian.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, like you didn't ask Jordan. The second Jordan asked you to be on this stream, is there an Indian person also on this stream? Like that was the first question out of your mouth.
I didn't have to ask because that's my signature on my emails.
Yeah.
You got that out of the way. No, here's the thing. I remember we had this conversation. I might have misspoken. I remember saying, I think I've had it once, but I didn't really remember because it was a while ago.
Yeah.
So I do think I have had Indian food, but I just don't really remember.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
Do you like spicy food?
Yes. I'm like in the mid-high here. Nothing too crazy.
Okay. do you like gravies and like, yeah, do you like little gravies?
Yes.
But not like gravy.
Not gravy. I'm talking like a gravy made
Sauce.
from its own a vegetable's own filth or vegetable's own juices.
Yeah, I like juices over filth.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Okay.
Rika's a pervert, so she's describing it in a perverted way. She's just like Wiley Dufresne's ponytail.
I've never heard of vegetable filth before, and that just like threw me off.
That's my whole thing. So if you need Indian food recommendations in New York City, I will give them to you. Couple off the top of my head, Sarvana Bhavan, that's the one my parents go to, which I think says something. That's
Incredible.
on 6th and Lex. I do believe there's some drama behind it, but that's okay. The food is really, really good. You can go to the Flushing Temple and eat the food there. It's really good.
Yeah, if you just want a quick Indian dinner, just go to the Flushing Temple.
In Flushing. You could also go to Curry Row, which is like 2nd Avenue and 6th Street. There's just like 1,000 Indian restaurants with the same name, and they're all really good, and they have very good lunch specials.
Rika, I need to ask, do you prefer Curry Row or Curry Hill better?
Is Curry Hill on Lex, that like strip on Lex?
Yeah, it's like Murray Hill.
I've had more Curry Row, and I appreciate the lunch specials, but Sarvana Bhavan is right on Curry Hill, and I know. It's my fave.
Curry Hill has more buffets versus Curry Row has more, I feel like, lunch specials. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of, I think that represents you and I, if I can say that.
I think that's really interesting. Yeah, it's sort of two sides of the same coin. It's the same type of person that goes to both of those.
It's the same type of person. I'm kind of a little more. You get a little more. I'm a little bigger. That's how I would describe it.
Okay, great.
I'm kind of, it's coming back to me now. There's a place within walking distance from Barclays Center. I don't remember what street it was on, but I remember being in the backyard and trying something, and I didn't like it, but I'm pretty sure it was Indian food.
Okay, I'm doing a lot of stuff.
I'm not doing great. But.
Sorry, the restaurant has a backyard, or you were in?
No, the restaurant had a backyard.
Was it called Masala Grill or Corner Deli, but spelled like the city, or Namaste?
I couldn't tell you if my life depended on it.
Here's the trick too. Every Indian restaurant is called the same thing. They're called Royal India, A Taste of India, Raj Cafe, Taj Mahal. So it was probably called Taj Mahal. And that's okay. You know, we'll figure this out, Eric. I'll cook you Indian. Come over, I'll cook you Indian food.
Yeah.
I do want to get Indian food again, and Ethiopian food, which I've also heard good things about.
Ethiopian food is very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get the sort of sibling dish to this first dish, the twin, the Mary Kate to the Ashley. And but then makes strawberries and cream, which is white chocolate panna cotta, strawberry jelly, strawberry bonbons with cream, and basil dressing.
Yum, yum. That's what I'm saying. Both these dishes, I was like, I want to hold them close to me.
And I love that both the twills were different. That fucked me up.
Yeah.
This was so fucking cool. Okay.
I'm generally like, I don't really care for the plating and how beautiful things look, but that I gotta say, those two, they look really good.
Gorgeous. Okay. So Sarah made shrimp sausage, brown butter brioche crumb with compressed cucumbered pickles and pepper sauce.
Yum.
That sounds good. Now, if I were just looking at it, I think this looks bad. This is the one that looked like like fish ice cream with like little sauce drippings. I think it looked bad, and so did its Mary Kate. So the Mary Kate to this was Robert, who made strawberry panna cotta with creme fraiche, Japanese brown sugar crumble, kiwi, and basil. Now, I would eat that. That sounds good.
Yes, that sounds great.
Okay. Jay made a daikon salad with walnut crumbs and chilled jasmine lime broth. You can bury me in walnut crumbs.
Yum.
I'm kind of a walnut crumb. And the
So true.
Kate, thank you. And the Mary Kate to this, Nick made button mushroom beurre blanc noodles with mushroom puree, red pepper coulis, and mushroom jus.
So interesting. I know Eric hates mushrooms, and I'm sorry, I can't even fathom. Rarely does a food thing happen where I'm like, I can't even, it breaks my brain. A button mushroom noodle, I'm like, huh? And I love it.
Yeah. You said mushrooms 3 times, so I.
That's true. That's
Eric
the,
just blacks out. That's all he hears. It's just like mushroom.
That's too much.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Rachel's working on her screenplay.
I'm working on my screenplay and fade out. Okay, cool. So then Joe made crispy pork belly, cauliflower puree, crispy garlic, and daikon relish with a 5-spice glaze. That sounds pretty good to me. I get skeptical about cauliflower, but I'm sure Joe did a great job. I know that the crispy pork belly was a big issue.
Yeah, I think that they kind of fell into the biggest trap of this is sacrificing. Wow, that word sounds so weird when I'm saying it. Sacrificing. That's what it's right?
Really
Yeah.
insane, yeah.
Okay, sacrificing proper cooking technique
Yes.
for the look. Why does that word sound so
To
weird?
make it look like a cheesecake kind of base.
Yeah.
To the Mary Kate was from Evelyn, who made a goat cheesecake, cardamom chocolate sauce, sesame crumble, apples, and matcha. Geez.
I like mostly all of those words.
What's crazy is I don't know that any of those things go together, but I'm gonna eat it. Now, Jordan, which part turned you off except for all of it?
So all of it, right? Because that's not my dessert flavor profile. I don't know if I'm interested in matcha and cardamom together.
Do you think that sounds fucking crazy? And I'd love to try it.
Yeah, I also, I love cardamom in a savory dish. Like when I order like a masala dosa and get the cardamom pod like in the potato mixture in the dosa, hello, yum yum.
And to me, that is the worst feeling in the world.
I love it. It's kind of like
pod. I want to jump off of a bridge.
I like it. I have no problems. I like the texture of it. I don't eat the whole thing, obviously, but I like the texture, and you get some of the little like seedies. I think that's good. But yeah, in a dessert, cardamom is too like fall flavor for me.
I love a fall flavor. Eric, where do you stand on fall flavors?
I don't know. I've never had that before. So as you're explaining it, I'm trying to follow you. I don't know what you're talking about.
What about like pumpkin spice?
I can do that. I can do pumpkin.
What about like a spice cake, like a ginger cake, or like a
okay.
Okay. What about sweet potato, like a sweet potato pie?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Jordan, I win. Okay.
Yeah, Rika wins this one. Rika wins this one.
Sorry, Eric's my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Ashley. For the next one, Ashley made scallops with compressed honeydew, kanzuri, toasted walnut, and apple cider broth. This looks great. Now, the twin to this sort of, I'm trying to think of a different famous twin. The sort of
Rika. The twins from The Shining.
Okay. The sort of blonde girl on the right to the blonde girl on the left in The Shining. Do they have names?
No, but are they blonde?
Aren't they famously blonde?
I thought they had brown. In my mind, they have brown hair. I'm projecting. I want them to look like me. That's probably why. I want to be
Yeah, aren't they Indian? Wait.
Yeah.
Aren't they literally Indian? Oh, it's like
dirty blonde.
Yeah. So we're both right. Okay. And they are weirdly Indian. Okay.
And they are Indian.
You know how
they have like bright blonde hair and they're Indian.
Yeah, every movie until last year there was never an Indian person unless it was a brown person doing brown face, but that movie they had 2 Indian girls. Okay.
Yeah.
Then Luke made king oyster, cover your ears, mushrooms with pickled cucumber, carrot puree, and mushroom seaweed oil broth. Seaweed oil broth, not the way I emphasized it.
Okay, seaweed oil broth sounds bad to me.
Yeah.
Not even seaweed. Oil broth sounds bad to me.
I think you should just call it a seaweed broth because it is confusing. I would eat anything that was soaked with seaweed, seaweed oil broth, whatever. Now, here's something I found funny about this. They were like, whose idea was it to cut an oyster or an oyster mushroom? And whose idea was it to cut a scallop? In my brain, because I'm not a chef, I'm like, is that revolutionary? Apparently it is. They were like mind blown that someone could cut a scallop.
I think that's stupid. I don't understand. I didn't understand. Cut a scallop in half. That's what you do to make scallop carpaccio. People do that all the time. To cut a mushroom to look like a scallop. We've been cutting things to look like scallops for a million years. Vegan restaurants that are fancy do the oyster mushroom scallop.
Yeah.
Richard Blaze did the banana scallop.
Yeah.
Nothing is revolutionary about this dish.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Next one. Damar made chicken liver mousse cornbread sandwich with duca and tomato chili jam. Pew, 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 pew. Eric, tell us why.
Liver. Can't do liver.
Oh, okay. Okay. You don't like an organ, you don't like an offal. Okay.
It's one, and you got the cornbread. Can't go wrong with cornbread. I love cornbread. But like my mother used to love to eat liver, and she used to always try to get me and my brother to try it.
Yeah.
Tried it once, and I was like, "How dare you give this
even
to
like
your
chicken
child?"
liver mousse, like a pate.
I feel like that sounds. I think actually my girlfriend. I think she got like a liver mousse thing, and you like spread it on something, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I get that. It's very controversial. And I do think it is like a big generational thing too. I do feel like, Eric, people of like probably your mom's generation, that like liver and onions was such a big dish that people love. And now if you went to someone's house and they made liver and onions, you'd be like, excuse me?
What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Monique, making the Zach to the Cody of the previous dish. This is the animal lover suggestion. Made a coffee ice cream sandwich, olive oil streusel with candied lime zest and fruit gel.
I don't like coffee, but this sounds good.
I would eat this. And those were our little dishes. So at judges table on top were Ashley and Luke for their revolutionary chopped scallop, and Jackson and Buddha for that beautiful little bagel twirl. The winners were Jackson and Buddha, which is incredible. I thought that dish looked awesome. So memorable. On the bottom were Sarah and Robert for their sort of pink lump, and Evelyn and Joe for that kind of mismatched like pork belly cheesecake kind of thing. And eliminated were Robert and Sarah.
Very sad. It was definitely Sarah's time to go home. I think Robert could have had a little more time left, but I also don't think he was making it till the end. And I think, who are the other two people? Remind me.
Evelyn and Joe.
Yeah, I think Evelyn and Joe are both going to make it to the end, top 5, maybe final 4, in my opinion. So it had to happen.
Here's what threw me off, since I don't know much about the show. When I saw that they got eliminated, I was like, "Oh, all right, they're eliminated." And then apparently they can like compete again to come back. Like, what the hell is going on?
It's kind of new. It's been over the last few seasons, Eric, that they've been doing it where you can go and compete in Last Chance Kitchen, which is basically like Top Chef, but I would say much harder. There's no rest time, and you just go like back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And you have to win every single like it's just 2 people head to head, so you have to win every single challenge, and then at some point you get back in the competition. Every season it's varied when they've let you back in the competition. Sometimes it's like at the very end. They've had seasons where it's been like randomly in the middle they'll just admit someone. They're playing real fast and loose with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it kind of like took away those moments they had with the cast when they're like hugging, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you."
Well,
kind of like
it still might come back, but yes.
Yeah, they most likely won't, because in the end only one person will come back.
Yeah, exactly. So did we like this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I do really quickly want to hop on Eric's thing of, I don't know if we need Last Chance Kitchen. And I would love to know if people want to drop in the chat, how do they feel about that? Because I think I was excited about it when they introduced it, but now I'm kind of over it.
I really liked it during the Portland season, but I honestly haven't been keeping up as much now.
Sure. Okay, I liked this episode though. I did think it was fun. They just need to step it up a little bit. It's been generally kind of boring. I thought this challenge, the elimination challenge, was interesting.
I was
gonna say, as someone who never really watched it, I thought it was cool. I never would have guessed that they would be doing that, making like the doppelganger meals. I thought that was a really cool idea. And then I saw at the end that they're going to do barbecue next, so I might have to stick around for that one.
We love.
I thought this was my favorite of the visual-based challenges they've done in the show. Maybe that and the Charlize Theron, Snow White.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, like I generally don't like the challenges are like, make this look like a house for no fucking reason and it tastes like shit. And they're like, why does this taste bad? Because you wanted it to be a house. But I thought this was a fun one. Or that they ran away with it. There was a really good chance that they all made dog shit dishes, but they did an awesome job, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Eric, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, so I'm in a short form improv group. We're kind of on a break right now as we figuring out things with the theater. But we are called Rufus Con. We are on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. We have a website, rufuscon.com. We do monthly shows in the city. I'm also with a group called Entirely from Memory. And this is like adults only things outside of Story Pirates.
Yeah.
We perform movies based on watching it once, and we don't know who we're playing until the show starts. And it's always crazy. And we're doing Little Mermaid in April, which is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, they're super, super fun. It's such an interesting concept of like, yeah, they watch the movie one time and then they have to try to re-perform it entirely from memory.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super, super fun. If you're in New York, you should definitely go see one.
Yeah, they're at Entirely from Memory. And yeah, I recently joined a wild show called Batsu, which is a mix. It's like a Japanese game show. It's like a mix between Whose Line Is It Anyway and Jackass. So you'll play a game, and let's say you lose the game, you'll get shot with a paintball gun, or you got to put your fingers in mouse traps. It's a crazy show, fun time. But I'll be popping in. I'll be doing some shows, a couple times a month with Batsu also.
That sounds simply terrifying, but kind of exciting.
That sounds amazing. And
Both.
Eric, I've given you enough rumination time. Do you have a least favorite superhero or comic book character?
Oh, shit.
No, I'm so overtaken by our charm that he forgot to think about the original.
Uh-oh, it happened again, Jordan.
Yeah, we're always charming the guests too much.
Okay. First thought.
Yeah.
I guess it's maybe because of how they portrayed the character. It's a character I've never heard of, but it's Polka Dot Man from the newest Suicide Squad movie.
Okay.
Well,
I guess
I've seen.
It's just the most random thing. I think it's funny that they brought that into a movie, but then he has this moment where you see that his powers are useful, and then as a gag, he immediately gets killed.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. And now I'm kind of like, well, if they make a Polka Dot Man comic, they re-release it, I'm not gonna read it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
First, you heard it here first.
That's the best I can do. I was thinking about food and
that's beautiful. We love that.
And all that other shit that I don't really know because I'm not a chef.
And hey, that's okay. But guess what? I actually just got some news from the Bravo producers here in the Bravo Top Chef kitchen. Eric, you are top chef.
What?
Yeah, Eric, a lot of people don't know this, but there are actually 2 ways to become a top chef. One is to be a professional chef who gets on to the reality cooking competition Top Chef and wins, or you can be a guest on Reka and I's YouTube live stream show for charity, Talk Chef.
Either way,
I mean, this seems more fun.
This is a lot more fun. It's more economical. And either way, an Indian woman's going to tell you you're top chef, Eric. So why not have it this way where you can be in the comfort of your own home? Come on.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't even have socks on right now. And
guess what? In that way, you are exactly like host Tom Colicchio, who does not wear socks.
Yes, the bald white judge, Tom Colicchio. We have been told by former Top Chef contestants that he literally, no matter what kind of shoe he wears or what climate they're in, he never wears socks.
Nice.
And we are inviting him onto the show to dispute that claim.
Prove us wrong. Show us your feet.
Show us your feet. Tom, come on the show and show us your feet.
Oh.
You coward. Show us. Incredible. Eric, thank you so much. Please check out Eric's work. Check him out on Story Pirates. Check him out on his podcast.
His social in the bio for this episode, so go follow him. And also he's tagged on our Instagram.
Yeah,
and wait, can I also plug? My job finally went live. I work for Sporked, which is a new food website and social media presence brought to you by Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. So I'm part of the Mythical cast now. And there's a lot of content with me online and articles. And so if you want to and feel like it, you should go subscribe to our website so you get notified when I write articles, and follow us on social media and just comment about the fact that I'm hot or whatever you guys want to do. Whatever feels good.
Spitballing, Jordan's hot, Jordan's funny, whatever you want.
I'm funny. I'm the funniest person in the world. They should give me a raise, whatever feels good to you guys, just go comment. And just I hope you like it, and I appreciate you guys being so sweet about it.
Yay! Congratulations, Jordan.
Thank you.
Incredible. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and please come on by next week when we review episode 5, if you can believe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.